Quindi sarebbe consigliabile. eh, Adesso questo è pronto, quando vuoi iniziare?
Aspetta, X-Ray Collection, vediamo. Fantastico.
Poi non lo so, se ti
Ok.
serve
Qui
ulteriori.
loro vedono anche, a parte la mia board qui che non vorrei, il mio dock che non vorrei che
Devo
vedessero.
mettere tutto schermo questo allora.
Come faccio?
Oppure regolarlo di là.
No, no, metto tutto schermo.
Qua nel verde.
Ok,
E poi
e qui però mi vedono anche come faccio a fargli sparire la...
devi regolarlo lì.
No, no, qui, dal browser gli posso dire di fargli sparire... Perfetto, bravissimo. Che tasto hai pigiato?
S.
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 E per far ritornare come prima, ESC.
S o S. Però così,
No,
vedi,
S,
se
S.
qui lo vedono lo stesso.
No, no,
Eh
non lo
sì,
vedo.
perché c'è scritto PPU
Ma va
board.
bene, quello lo devono vedere, è questo che non devono vedere.
E mica cambia.
Dio cane, è la URL. Vai.
Scusa, la URL è fatta da
Ma non
jitsi.pirati.gz
lo sanno
barra
che... Va
questo.
bene, non lo sanno. Dai,
C'è il simbolo qua.
vai, metti
Se sono
S.
delle persone competenti,
S.
cioè, io vedendo così
Aspetta
potrei
che
ricavarlo.
parlo, glielo dico. Hello everybody. The stream is ready. Grande bomber. Quindi quando questo è pronto io faccio sta... No, ma end stream. No, no, ma è già pronto. Sta
Questo è
già andando.
pronto.
Ma sta già
No.
andando online.
Ah sì, adesso sì, l'hai mandato online.
Quando?
Quando hai cliccato lassù.
Non ho cliccato lassù.
Eh sì che ci hai cliccato, non parte da sé.
Posso fare stop?
Fai stop. E se fai stop poi tocca rifarlo da capo.
Vabbè.
Ma così è pronto. Però ecco, se vuoi, torna su OBS. No, su OBS. Ah, a posto, non si vede neanche lì, fantastico. A posto,
Mhm.
non si vede neanche niente. Comunque, non so te, ma io quando faccio gli stream ogni tanto bisogna fare delle modifiche.
Mhm.
Se lo dividi in due ti permette di vedere la modifica prima di mandarla in diretta, così la fai senza che tutti vedano che stai spostando o qualcosando.
Mhm. Ma vabbè, io sto streamando questo, ora, no? Lo vedo da
Sì,
qui quello che sto streamando. Sì, vai sul un attimo, se vai sul sito del Partito Pirata Europeo,
sì.
col tuo computer, per esempio, cerca su YouTube Partito Pirata Europeo, lo vedi in streaming, no? O anche su
Aspetta,
LiveQuest. Cerca, se non Jitsi, proprio YouTube.
sì,
Questo-
certo. Grazie che ha l'amici. Proprio Jitsi, aspetta qui. Ah sì, è qua. Non uso da tanto tempo che era stato compresso. E... Vedi se riunisci a mettere schermi interessanti li vedi meglio. Questo confermo. Ora
Ma che fa?
lo sto ridownloadando. È un'applicazione che non uso, mi comprimono automaticamente. Vuoi cambiare le linee?
No, no, non lo cambio.
Se lo cambia non ci vuole niente.
No, no, dimmi se si vede su YouTube.
Ora qui questi qui sono competenti o sono come Bruno Brulli che io ho detto aspetta un attimo e
Competenti.
fa come andiamo avanti. Allora,
Aspetta che ora devo parlare. Aspetta che ora devo parlare.
capito?
Hello, Mikulash. I think that I think that actually, uh, if anyone can check, because um, I prepare everything for the streaming, but maybe the streaming already started. I don't. Maybe I just misclick somewhere. I can stop it if you want, but if somebody can just check if you are just already online on YouTube channel, please give me a hint. Thank you.
È qui in questo, giusto?
No, amore mio, europeo. Questo via.
E qual è? In portoghese.
Sì, siamo live. Va
Sì.
bene, grazie amore mio. Vai, poi ti do la roba per fare.
Sì, vedo me.
Sì, sì.
Comunque, fai push to talk quando devi parlare con spazio.
Yes, we have. I also would like to do that, but actually I prefer to be, responsible for the streaming. So if you, if I can skip this, but if there's nobody else, then I can secretary the meeting. Attenzione alla grande. Devo essere qui. Dopo ti do i soldi, amore mio, per comprare le pizze. Ne compri un paio? Eh?
Sì. Aspetta.
Tanto poi...
Qui c'erano parecchie penne, ce n'è una per caso.
Era tutto lì, amore mio, scusa.
Prenderò la penna di riserva. Te che gusto lo vuoi? Che gusto lo vuoi? La pizza?
Come dici?
A che gusto la vuoi?
La Vic non la vuole. Io prendo la Napoli. Mi puoi confermare se si sente anche l'audio, per favore? Che... Si sente? Eh?
is a message from on the European Pirate Party that there's a council to support the CCI. And I think the European Pirate Party have retweeted the Free Sharing EU Twitter account several times, but we have not really started a social media campaign. So there is no campaign. We have not created share pics. There is no visuals. So far, it is quite low. Like we have been sorting out internal problems, including translations, and translation seems to be sorted out mostly. There are some languages missing still missing some strings, as I just read. But so we haven't really kicked it off in social media.
Yes, I guess we have had quite like successful meeting of the media working group yesterday. So I hope we will repeat it soonish, and probably the important topic to discuss is how to kickstart this campaign, because we definitely need to do so. I don't know, Lukasz, hope you have heard that and put it on the agenda of the upcoming or the next meeting for the working group, and we will kick it off. Yes, Lukasz writes to the chat that he kicked that off. He noticed. I don't know. Is there anything more? I mean, like you mentioned the money. Here we are at the point that we have not a specific budget to support it, if I'm not mistaken, and it would have to be approved by the council. Should we really like want to change the budget, which will probably be possible during, I would say, May or June, when we organize the next council meeting. Would it be fine for you to keep that question for now, let's say, open?
Well, I hope we will survive. So far, I'm quite confident that if we really need money, we will we can find a solution, basically. So far we got 500 euro from the Pirate Party of Hesse. We got a decision made by the board for the Pirate Party of Germany for 2,000 euros, and there's also 500 euro from the Wikimedia Italy. So a couple of months are covered. And after that, we will definitely need more money. This is because we have planned more expenses to do, and it's not planned any online advertisement yet at all. So it's just that.
Yeah. Well, I think we could try some emergency procedures, but I would put this question to the discussion regarding budget in the May, because we will have to have a budget discussion at that time anyway, if I'm not mistaken. I think we have decided last time to have a discussion about budget in the next council meeting. So there will be probably the best time to raise it. Is there anything more we could help you with?
So connecting and speaking to other organizations to broaden the whole thing is one way. So I'm glad that you proposed to write to the PPU members, and also we can propose that the PPU member parties write in their newsletters to their members this information about the CCI, so to get that out. Also, I'm not sure if you're making or anyone making any regular podcasts or video blogs or anything like that. You could invite one of the ECI team to speak, to have a small talk interview, something like that. And well, that's for now. It is I think to broaden the audience should be our major priority currently.
Yeah, I can promise you I will raise the issue within the Parliament's delegation, because some of the MEPs are doing podcast, YouTube streaming. Marketa is doing that. I'm more like writing on the issues. However, this is something we could definitely have a talk, and it would be interesting. Like we have had some webinars and stuff like that. So I think an online debate with ECI representatives would be of great use. So I keep it in mind, and I will try to provide some content. Good. Okay, are we kind of like satisfied with these issues? Is there anything more? Sorry, Luca, I missed your hand raised.
Yeah, I would like to add one detail, which is kind of important. This ECI requires a huge amount of signatures. That means about 2,000 a day. That means we need to use exponential growth. So it's not just about having every single PP asking its components to sign it, but it would be nice to ask almost many people to provide contacts for local social media. In such a way we can get into many social media, because the amount of signatures is huge, and the only way we can, I think the only way we can success with that is to have a wide coverage with so many sources. That is it.
I absolutely agree. Well, like generally, like we are always struggling for getting more, let's say, attention, and it's not really easy. But we will definitely invite as many people as possible to really like help and get involved in the effort. Good. Well, I believe the topic of European Citizens Initiative is somehow covered. So maybe we can go further and leave our guests to do other stuff they are willing to do within the PPI.
So if you like any other questions, someone else. In that case, it was nice to see you guys. And
thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming and informing us. Thank you.
Have a productive meeting. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so maybe we can go to the next point in the agenda, which are the reports. So I guess we have had defined some roles within the board in the first meeting, and verified in the second meeting. Sorry, Mia. I can't hear you because your mic is muted.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say that I missed the yesterday communication group meeting because it was announced just too late, and I was not on Mattermost yesterday because I had other things to do, and so I missed it. I just saw it today, and I would like to have a short, report, if possible. Very short, 3 sentences or so. And I would...
Yeah, I mean, like maybe the respective board members can report what they have achieved within their working groups. So I don't know who wants to start. Lukasz raised the hand, so please do.
Yeah, I would like to say a few sentences about the meeting. Mikuláš basically introduced the current practice regarding the media, and we talk about GitLab, which is used by the delegation in the European Parliament, and we also talk about like we should use it as well in the PPU. Also, I invited 2 volunteers from the Czech Pirate Party, Petr and Lucie, who would like to help us. and we also talk about possible expansion of content like podcasts and other stuff. So basically that's it.
Okay, thank you. Mia, would you like to add something on top of that, or was your...
No, I just want to know when would the next meeting be scheduled, because I would like to come.
We haven't decided yet. I'm gonna send you a private message on Mattermost, and also I'm gonna post it in that group, media group.
So I can read everything you've talked yesterday on that group site, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, just to inform you about your question, because you have asked me how to connect to the GitLab, I've realized that actually the administrator prevented for some reason to register there without, let's say, the parliamentary key globe, which I consider to be surprising. And I think we should have an opportunity for volunteers to volunteer there. So I'm now working on that the registration will be free and open for anyone who is not really like, who is not even for those people who are not members of the parliament. Just to answer your question, you raised to me in Mattermost, and I will get to the issue as soon as possible, because I consider it to be urgent.
Okay.
Bastian, please do. Yeah, I saw a hand raised from Bastian, but I can't hear you. I don't know whether it's a case of my agency or if it's a general problem. Bastian, I see your mic unmuted, your hand raised, but I can't hear you, and no one is really like...
Yeah, now you can hear me, right?
Yes, now it works.
Yeah. That's a problem by Jitsi. You have to choose your devices several times. Just a question for clarification for the media group. How do you communicate under yourselves? With a Mattermost or whatever? Otherwise, it's a good idea to have a mailing list, and if you wish to do so, I can arrange a mailing list on short notice. So the question to Lukas.
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part or the question. I didn't.
Okay. How do you communicate within the media working group? Do you do it? Are you doing it via Mattermost, or do you need a mailing list? If you need a mailing list, which is good for archive, then you can request a mailing list and you get it on short request.
Yeah, we have a group on Mattermost.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to remind regarding the mailing list that we have had long discussions about it in the last boards and decided not to archive them because of the personal data protection. That was an issue regarding that. So should that happen, I believe that the technical group should first clarify on this issue.
You misunderstand me. I do not. I didn't say that we archive the mailing list. It's archive for yourself because you have all mails and you can archive the mails you have got. That's it. We never do any archive for mailing lists. Okay.
I know you are a spokesman on privacy protection, so I guess I can really rely on you on that issue. I have another issue which arose regarding your media communication. I mean, like I was informed that actually the meta tags on the WordPress do not work. So actually our web page does not work good together with Twitter, neither Twitter nor Facebook, if I'm not correct. But at least there is an issue with the Twitter. I guess, Bastian, you are the one responsible for IT issues, aren't you?
Yeah, but as you remember, the last meeting, we promised that we have a meeting how to arrange it for the future, and it's 3 weeks later. Maybe you should do that. It's a short technical whatever meeting, but we have to do that. We have a lot of plugins who are working very well. The plugin who is installed in the WordPress is not working anymore. So we need to two things: the right plugin and the access for our social media accounts. You need it's an API, and you need a secret API, and so on and so on. I won't discuss it on the board meeting, but we have to meet Sunday on some day, so that we can discuss it on a technical basis. Thank you.
Okay, I mean, if I understand the distribution of the roles within the board, you are actually the one who is entitled to call for such a meeting. So, I mean, at this point, it's your turn, and please call for that meeting as soon as possible, and please invite me there. I would be really happy to participate.
It's like a tennis play, you volley. Okay, I will do that.
Yeah. And if it does not happen, then I will remind you. I will force all of you to call the respective meetings of your respective working groups in order to make it happen. And by the way, I would like to thank to Lukáš, who actually called for the meeting for the media groups, that it happened. Are there other board members who would like to report on their respective working groups? I mean, there was one organized on finances, wasn't there? I mean, Alessandro was involved. Correct me if I'm mistaken.
Yeah, actually, I created my. There were still no meetings there, but I just collecting resources and people on the MetaMost channel that I open up. It's open, so everybody can join. I was looking into the French contribute, the Pirate Party of France, and a couple of French guys put some materials there, and moreover, when I have more incomes, and I will call a meeting directly in our MetaMost channels, so everybody can join, and also of course in our mailing lists. And by the way, if you, Bastian, can also invite me, I would like to participate to the IT meeting, technical working group. Thanks.
Well, it's an open meeting, so everybody can join.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything to report from the, let's say, policy coordination, because Honza is here. Okay, I don't know whether he can hear us or whether he cannot reply. So maybe Mia, is there anything to report from your side?
I've just written it into the pad. Yeah, I contacted the COCC Council and asked them if I could participate, and they wanted to talk about it. I have not yet gotten an answer, and will ask him again. That's what I've written. And because I absolutely, and I think urgently, want to build an awareness strategy. I really want to do that, and I will ask anyway many people who would participate in that. It is my priority number one.
Well, that would be actually great, very much. My question would be, had the COCC received all the respective technical resources, namely like the emails and stuff we are supposed to provide them?
Yes, because I had contact with them via email. Bastian was so kind to give us the email connection quickly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was a great job. I mean, like, we will definitely need DCOCC up and running because we have had some, let's say, complaints ongoing between our member parties, or let's say some of their members against each other, which is most unfortunate. However, we should have the COCC really like running and addressing all the issues, because that's the responsible body within the EPP EU, and shall be really like informed and shall participate in resolving of the ongoing conflicts. So please, if you could, or whomever it would be relevant from the side of the board, Mia is the one who is responsible and shall facilitate the contact with COCC and ensuring the fast resolution of any or possible conflicts or other like interpersonal problems that could possibly occur. So that's the contact point. Please talk to Mia if something like that happens, or directly to the COCC, of course. Like, you are not restricted to talk with the board. Yeah, that was very much the COCC. Are there any more board members willing to report on any other spheres of activity?
Well, I put it in the minutes, so it's you can read it. It's just the normal work. We have to find a solution for the bank account, and that's it. But we can't discuss it in the board meeting because it's technical, private problems, and we have to get a solution for that in the near future.
Yeah. Yes, which brings me actually to the last point, and that's the announcements of the chair, and that's the question of registers. I mean, the register within the business chamber and the register of the final beneficiaries. We have a problem because the register of final beneficiaries, they require quite more detailed information about the final beneficiaries than the register of the parties. Or of the organization. I enlisted you the respective information they require us to provide, and namely it's the name, its date of birth, its place of birth, its nationality, its address of residence, and identification number, which is like number which is country specific and helps, I don't know like how to understand it. In Czechia we use them, but I cannot assure that in every single country we came from is an identification number used. So please provide it if possible. And what they are asked us is a scan of document, I mean the personal ID, which would consist also this identification number. So far, we are very much rely on each of the board members that will be able to provide this information for them. I'm deeply sorry for asking you to do so. However, we are obliged to do so because of the European Anti-Money Laundering Directive that affects us directly. Shouldn't we be unable to fulfill this requirement, we will be probably fined as the organization with a fine of 1,200 euro, most probably. The deadline to inform the register is within, let's say, 1 week from now, because we have they need certain time to process our application, which means I would like to ask every single member to provide that, because if we fail in this obligation, we will be fined by a significant amount of money. Sandro, please tell me.
Yeah, just a question. You wanted, via email, Mattermost, where we put this information. I mean, especially this document scan.
Well, you can use an email, you can use Mattermost, and should you be willing to use some other secure sort of like cloud storage or whatever, then please provide me a link or whatever needed via MetaMask. I'm quite like open to use whatever you consider to be secure for that purpose. I mean, like when we are talking about a MetaMask, the system is being hosted by us and it has an encrypted hard drive.
Okay.
So that's the step play of what we are using for securing there. However, whatever storage you prefer to do so.
No,
or if you want
MetaMask
to,
channel is Mikuláš, is perfectly fine for me. I will upload it and give all the information in the board channel in MetaMask. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm announcing that because so far only Lukáš provided me the document, the information in full form, and Mia provided me everything except of the scanned document, which is great. However, still we are 6 other board members missing, and if only one of them is not fulfilling the obligation, then we all failed. So I really insist on you to do so, because yeah, we will have a problem, and I have to admit it now. Should we fail on this obligation, I will do name shaming, and I will really like disclose which of the members failed on the obligation, because yeah, we need to do so, and anti-money laundering directive was something we strongly supported in our efforts for transparency and accountability of public finances. So it would be really shame should we as an organization fail to fulfill the requirements. Bastian, you are raising the hand.
Yes, I sent you an email because I'm registered anyway in the Chamber of Commerce. So they have the only thing you have to do is to look whether the data are relevant now. And I think if you are registered in this chamber, it should be enough. To copy it, or you can copy it. I sent you the whole registration with a lot of papers, a lot of pages, and so you can just take it and copy and paste it.
The situation is a bit complicated because, as I've said, since the February of the last year, I believe, there is this new version of anti-money laundering intact. So besides the Luxembourgish Business Chamber, which we are like providing the information, we are talking with another organization, which is Luxembourgish Register of Final Beneficiaries. That's a separate organization. They have both like provided a similar type of access, so you can both do it with using the token I somehow got. However, you need to provide it to two separate organizations. I'm not 100% sure that they are really like exchanging the data.
Yeah, but the data are all already stored in the paper. So you could, I think it's page 8. There are all of my personal data in it. You can just copy it and copy and paste it. Otherwise, we have to discuss it in short notice. I will discuss it in an official board meeting.
Okay, no problem. I will contact you and chase you until we get the information. Yeah, and that's basically it, because whatever changes we want to do on the bank accounts, we desperately need to change our formal registration within the register of in the Luxembourgish Business Chamber, because they require us first of all like the copy of the record to get registered in the bank. So unless we have this one resolved, we can move forward on the bank accounts issue. Yeah, so far that was from me regarding the announcement of the chair. So please provide the documentation as soon as possible, if possible immediately after the board meeting, by one of the secure channels. Is there any other business we should talk about?
Yes. Line 102 and following.
Okay, so the question is who is responsible for organizing second chamber, or let's say working group on the second chamber that as we were tasked by the council? That's a very good question. I cannot answer you without Googling or whatsoever. Is there anyone who could be possibly able to find it in the minutes from the first meeting?
Oh, I can have a look, yes, of course.
Yeah, I think it should be recorded. I think it was a little bit tricky to reach that information. Just seeking for that. We have had a little bit tricky reorganization of the.
Yeah, following working groups shall be established and supervised by the board members, blah, blah, blah. Second chamber and statute changes. So we need a responsible, somebody who is responsible to doing this. I volunteer if you so wish, but it's not a must. Everybody can volunteer for that. But I have the idea that's important, and we should push that a little bit.
That's for sure. However, when I looked into the minutes, there is no link for the Ethercalc pad we use in order to distribute the roles in the first meeting. For some reason, it is somehow vandalized, isn't it?
Yeah,
we already had the same. We already had the same problem at the last board meeting. Someone has a print screen of it. I think Lukáš or someone had a print screen of the final lists of people responsible for different working groups, but no one has the actual file. Or I think Flory had the actual file because it was in French.
Could we please find
someone? I think someone here might have the print screen somewhere.
Because I'm also a little bit struggling when asking who is responsible for what to clarify that. So we should first of all really clarify that so that we are or otherwise restate the issue on the next board meeting, because otherwise we are really blind on what should happen. I mean, we have had this discussion today about the IT, so we should really have this recorded.
I looked in the minutes of the first board meeting. That's an open point. So we didn't decide about it, I think. So we should do that. But we have some things who are tweaking us a little bit. So that's the second chamber and the rules of procedure. So we can do that in the next meeting, maybe, but we should do it in the next meeting as a first point, so that we solve some problem. And the other side is we should have an overview who's responsible for that, of course.
I think
in the wiki.
There was a board member who was responsible for this line, who was responsible for statute changes plus the second chamber, because it was kind of interconnected. So I hope the respective board member will confess, or maybe we are missing him or her.
Yeah.
Or there is maybe some problem, but we should clarify on that.
Okay, because it's a personal point for me. It's the second chamber. I would volunteer for that for the moment, and if we can discuss it in the next meeting. But I will establish a working group for that because it's important. Maybe Exile is responsible for that also. I have to ask him. Because he is a fan of the second chamber also, and or two. So let's say I will try to establish that working group, and I will ask Exile whether he can take over. I think it's the best solution for that.
I believe it's pretty much possible that it was Exile, but please check with him and check with this. We need to find the Ethercalc. We need to find the record from the first board meeting, and for sure, because I think it would be a bit. People generally do not like when someone is kind of stepping on their feet and taking their responsibilities. So I would generally prefer that the person who is responsible for that does that, or officially gives up on their responsibility, so that we are not really like going behind each other's back or something like that. Because at least from what I have learned, here we are. Someone found that. But it is a little bit hard to read it. Could you please type down the content of the respective Ethercalc to our minutes in the third meeting, so that we have it in the minutes in proper way? Yeah, and second chamber and statute changes are really on the exile, which means, yeah, please contact him and tell him that it's important issue for for you, and you don't want to take it from him. You just want him to ask him to do that.
Small or not small detail, but this isn't the final division, because you see that there's the column main responsible person, and there are always, with one exception, there are always several people. And after the first board meeting, there was some further discussion on who is going to be the leader, but no one wrote it down. At least as far as I know. So this is not final. This is like an alpha version. Okay, so the maybe we should. Like we don't know which one of those actually volunteered to be the leader of it. At the end, because there's Exile, Alexandro, and Flori, and
yes, and that was the order of the responsibilities. And the only change that was supposed to be there was that you and Lukáš should be exchanged on the policy coordination, like the order of responsibilities over there, if I'm not mistaken. However, then I would like to type this one down as a record of what we do know, and so we can later on refer on that and discuss the proposed changes. But we should record this one. I also have it somewhere on my computer, but I don't know not the computer I currently have. Yeah. Okay. I believe that's it. Is there anything more we should discuss today?
When we discussed it, bloody rules of procedure, we need that for board meetings. We discussed it last meeting, and we postponed it to this meeting. Maybe we can postpone it to the next meeting. No problem about that, but we should discuss that in the first points of the agenda. So I think it's a good idea to create an agenda prior to the meeting, and see what's the unsolved point from the last meeting.
I know that you have already a task for the meeting for the next meeting to organize an IT meeting, but would you maybe organize a working group meeting on that issue? I mean, like, so that we have really like a draft that was discussed before the board meeting, and we can only approve it on the board meeting unless there will be like major disagreement.
Yeah, but the homework was to inform that everybody informs himself that we have that rules of procedure link, and then we can just say yes, no, abstain, because it's an easy thing, because it's a rules of procedure we have all the years the former times. So it's an easy act, and just look on the rules of procedure on the last board, and then we postpone that for that board. So it's easy. Just a formal question, right?
Maybe I'm mistaken. My understanding was that actually those rules of procedure were never intact, which means like we have agreed to first went through them and verify that they are really like fitting for the purpose. That was my understanding, but maybe I'm wrong. Just correct me if I'm wrong.
Look into the agenda or the minutes of the board meetings, the board before us or the last board, and that's adopted by the board in the first meeting period. And so it makes sense to have rules of procedure